Hello, I'm ARCHIELUXURY and welcome to the program. Today I'd like to talk about my 3 favourite vintage watch dealers in Australia. And, I've got to say one thing. Retail is for suckers. I mean, you'd have to have fucking rocks in your head to continue to buy new pieces from the stealers, the dealers. And once you become a bit savvy, and you look at these rich, really rich fuckers out there, they don't pay retail. You know, they buy pre-owned. They let the first fucker come in, take the depreciation hit, and then they buy on the pre-owned market, great condition, and they buy it from a great dealer, a pre-owned dealer, a vintage watch dealer, and they save a mozza. They don't have the initial depreciation, but they've got the integrity, and they've also got the benefit of dealing with someone who's reputable. And I gotta say, there's 3 dealers in Australia that I highly recommend. That's right, there's 3 dealers in Australia for vintage watches that I highly recommend. And these guys ship around the world, so if you're not in Australia, they'll still be able to sell you the products, and you'll save the GST. They'll be able to take the GST off the price if you're not in Australia. So the first dealer, I would say, is one of my favourites, and I've known this dealer since 1999, is Shonny Herbath from Armadale Watch Gallery, and he's just a fantastic guy. I've bought many pieces, I've sold pieces, I've always made money, I've always been happy with the deal. He's honest, and when it comes to buying a pre-owned luxury wristwatch, I can't think of anyone better than Shonny from Armadale Watch Gallery to buy it from. Great guy, fantastic store, really interesting stock, and he's got a lot of really snooty stock. A lot of Pateks come in, rare pieces, interesting pieces. Like at his moment, he's got a Patek annual calendar, a 5036 in white gold on a bracelet. He's got an AP Royal Oak two-tone. He's got interesting shit. Shonny from Armadale Watch Gallery, highly recommend. And his assistant is Bruce. And Bruce sounds exactly like Shonny, actually, but this is when you talk to him on the phone, but they're 2 different people. Bruce is a great guy. I've dealt with Bruce for a couple of years. He's a cool guy, and they're both great blokes, and highly recommend. And that's Armadale Watch Gallery in Melbourne, in South Yarra. And the next highly recommend is Sydney Vintage Watches, and it used to be Fredman SVW, but now it's Sydney Vintage Watches, and it's run by my good friends Luke and Ronnie. They're the owners, and they're really cool guys. And Sydney Vintage Watches, I've dealt with Fredman's business, early 2000s, and I've dealt with Ronnie even longer. So, I mean, I got a long establishment with them. Again, they're a top-end vintage pre-owned dealer. So, I mean, it's like buying a second-hand Mercedes with the Star Mercedes warranty. There's no fucking downside. There's only an upside. You're saving on retail, and you're getting quality, authentic stock. It's a win-win situation. And the third dealer I'd highly recommend is Brisbane Vintage Watches, run by Shonny and Luke, and that's in my hometown, Brisbane, Queensland, and they are fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And Brisbane Vintage Watches, cool dealers, and they've always got interesting range of Rolex, Omega, quality pieces. And these are three high-end dealers. In Melbourne, Armadale Watch Gallery. In Sydney, Sydney Vintage Watches. In Brisbane, Brisbane Vintage Watches. These are the top 3. I'm Archie Luxury. Tell me what you think.